Hey, race fans, this is Bull Butter. I thought the Triple Crown was something that you get at Burger King. You're listening to the Auxiliary Gate Podcast.
You're listening to the Auxiliary Gate Podcast, Kentucky's weekly horse racing discussion. And now, here are your hosts, Alan Schneider,
You're a degenerate gambler.
Jeff Riggs,
You're Harry.
and me, CC Broaddus.
You're calm under pressure.
The auxiliary gate. Big problem.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's episode number 252 of the Auxiliary Gate Podcast. We are recording almost live August 18th, 2026. I'm CC Broaddus, but that doesn't matter right now. We have big-time TV analyst Alan Schneider in the hizzy.
In the hizzy.
Welcome to the show once again.
Thank you. But I'm not the TV analyst that gave out a $40 winner the other day, am I? I don't think that was you, correct?
Yeah, big deal. Big deal. I can't connect anything else with it. But anyway, enough of that. Geoff Riggs, our favorite Harry host.
Yes, sir. We are here. Yeah, no, it was fun with you guys this weekend at Ellis. It sounds like at least a combination of us are going to be running it back next weekend as well. So, yeah, we were talking about, it started as Auxiliary Gate Takeover weekend and then became Auxiliary Takeover weeks. And then, yeah, this past weekend, Joe got some well-deserved time off and we were able to hold down the fort. And yeah, you guys both killed it with your selections being on that in the analyst chair. So well done there.
Did you see the Cubs White Sox battle in the stands?
Yes, I saw that this morning.
Was Joe involved in that?
I hadn't heard either way. So
I thought I saw Joe in there just like tagging somebody, or getting tagged.
Snitches get stitches. I'll say nothing.
Okay. I hope Joe didn't get hit in the throat or nothing like that. He get throat punch because he's got a karaoke this weekend. So that would be.
That's very true. That's the moneymaker. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one thing real quick before you get going. See, I was mentioning this the other day. I was going to mention this to you. We don't think this is like a deal like with Geoff taking over for Joe this past week? It's not like a Wally Pitt, Lou Gehrig thing or a Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady thing, or do you think that? Do you foresee that happening?
I do. Actually, I do. It's one of those deals. I mean, yeah, Joe maybe has suffered a pulled groin.
Yeah.
And Geoff just comes in there and takes over. And then the rest is history. His groin is superior to Joe's.
And then that's 2,100 games in a row or 2,100 shows in a row, like Lou Gehrig or something, or win 7 Super Bowls. It's like you gotta watch. You gotta watch who's looking over your shoulder, man. I'm just saying.
I appreciate the support, boys. I can guarantee you that Joe is uninjured and has many years left in the career, but I've definitely enjoyed the opportunity so far for sure, and it's the most fun you can imagine.
We could try like a Nancy Kerrigan, Tanya Harding.
There you go.
I could come up with a crowbar and just
hit him in the back of the chair, and he falls over and hits his head on the desk.
Why me?
Yeah.
Why?
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, that's one thing if the people don't understand about the whole analyst thing or whatever. Like CC and I are in the what would you call that? The shooting guard spot, the point guard, like Joe or Geoff are doing. There's a lot going on with that. You've got the control room talking to you. They're doing this promotion, that promotion, keeping you on time, blah blah blah, while you're trying to hook up the analyst. So Joe does a great job, and I thought Geoff did an amazing job too. So I never felt slighted, pressured whatsoever. I thought you were completely in rhythm.
Good. Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. It's definitely a different role for sure. And I mean, we already have all the respect in the world for Joe, but just, doing it for a weekend and seeing everything that he does and puts into every single race day. I mean, that guy, he's got to be working 24/7.
Yeah, Caitlin does it, Kilroy does it,
Yeah.
And Tony does it, and they all knock it out of the park. So
Yeah.
hats off to him.
All right. Last week we mentioned on the show, I didn't know anything about Geoff Riggs. It's sad. He claims I know him for 4 years. I don't remember that. I don't recall any of it.
You claimed that, and then you reeled off like 12 fun facts about me immediately after.
That's all I know. So I have decided each and every show we do going forward, we're going to
Nice.
release a Jeff Riggs factoid of the week.
I like it. I
Oh,
like it.
okay. Okay.
On the spot, Jeff, reveal something about yourself that your adoring public does not know.
Oh, this is great. Okay. I got a few good ones. See, which one do we want to reveal here?
We just need
I'll
one.
make it a good one. I'll make it a good one because, we want to keep people coming back for these. I won two state championships in tennis in high school and was on one of the nationally ranked high school tennis teams when I was in high school, junior, senior year, and I was a very highly ranked tennis player and had offers to play in college and basically got burnt out and decided I didn't want to. But yeah, that's something a lot of people didn't know about me.
Wow, I did not know that.
I feel like I knew that. Have you? I think you've told me that.
See, I told you know me, Cece. Every time we talk about this, you're like, "Oh yeah, I knew that about you."
Can
You
I
don't.
ask you something? Did you get any offers? Did you also play varsity in any like men's sports or anything like really masculine sports? I'm just messing with
No, I did
you.
not. So I was a basketball player. So well, yeah, I guess this is more fun facts, but I was a very good basketball player in elementary school and middle school because I grew early growth spurt. I was as tall as I am, 5'11" and 7/8 inches in seventh grade. So I
Oh
was
wow.
a good power forward playing travel ball, high level basketball player, and then I stopped growing, and that meant I had to become a point guard. And I was less good as a point guard as I was as a power forward with my same skill set. So I kind of flamed out in basketball. Um, and yeah, I mean, that was basically, I played all kinds of sports as a kid, but then basically when I started playing tennis and figured out I was like actually really good at tennis, that's where my focus went.
What do you know? I did not know that.
There we go. The Jeff Roids.
Jeffroids. That's from sitting at the desk too long. You get Jeffroids.
That's probably what they thought in middle school when I was the size I am right now as a seventh grader, had a beard coming in, and they were like, "Oh my god."
All right, the Jeff Riggs factoid of the week. On to other things. We want to talk about what do you want to talk? We never did really cover the Triple Crown issue. We've got that. We've got the Fair Hill Five last weekend. The maybe perhaps the largest gambling coup in American history. We've got the Heiza past performances. The user, the creator of those, apparently has been unveiled. I'll leave it up to you all. We've got a few minutes here. What do you want to talk about the most?
I'll spin the wheel of roulette.
Well,
Those
hold on.
topics.
Time out.
Gotcha.
Between the highs of past performances, the past. If you're not familiar, months ago it was revealed that there are past performances being printed by for select users that had vet information on them. They're very advanced past performances, has Ragazine numbers, has speed figure numbers that other people cannot obtain. But the most important part was the vet information, like injections and stuff like that, stuff that's supposed to be private. So, what makes you angrier, the Fair Hill Five incident or the Highs Up past performance incident? Which inflames you more? And then we've got a little recency bias here with the past performances.
I'll let you go, Jeff.
I admittedly am not as researched as I need to be on the heist past performances issue just because that came out over the weekend and I was heads down doing Ella stuff all weekend and then got as much sleep as I possibly could last night. So I woke up at about 1 p.m. today. But from what the little bit of that story I know, that's the one that bothers me more because um, as far as I know, I mean, we'll see when tests come back and stuff. If it comes back that those Fairhill 5 horses were all juiced, then that's the one that's going to bother me the most. But if they were just legitimate and they just did an outstanding training job and just knew that these horses were going to fire and then went and bet, I mean, as far as I know, they didn't do anything illegal. So that one is less incendiary for me. But it is wild that we have had multiple like big controversial stories coming out just in the past couple weeks. Like, I mean, you look at the past decade of horse racing, and these are two of the biggest ones that I can remember.
Yeah, as far as getting incensed, I made a point a long time ago not to get too incensed about anything horse racing Twitter
Hmm.
related. I have a tendency to stay outside that because even though I know that stuff is corrupt as hell and it's crooked as hell and it is enraging to some as hell. And I know it's remarkably wrong. I also know that's a bubble, and there's a lot of. If you think that's bad, just walk out in the world as a whole, and there's a lot of other far more troubling things outside of that tiny bubble of horse racing. Now that
It's a
said,
great point.
now that said, this is a podcast about horse racing, so we are in
Hmm.
that bubble. So I have to keep that in mind. And yes, the whole Heisa thing is corrupt as hell. It is. There's lots of blame to go around. They're going to pigeonhole one guy who is admittedly to blame. There's no question about that. I'm guessing there's others involved who had access to that information too that we probably all know, involved in tournaments and claiming and this and that or whatever. And I also had that Heisa as well. Whatever they thought whatever safeguards they felt like they had in place with that information, they obviously didn't. So they're guilty as well too. And the fact that I saw one quote that said, yes, he had the tool to get into it, but they opened the hole for him to walk into that with that tool. So there's a lot of blame to go around, correct? Heisa had their pants down in a lot of regards, right? For somebody to come and give them a wedgie, and that's exactly what happened.
I would think, Geoff, one of the horses that guy trained that did not run last weekend, I can't remember his name now. Was it Kiros? Angel
Hmm.
Kiros?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
One of his horses apparently tested positive for
yeah. They
albuterol
did, they did.
in and out of training tests.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. Okay, okay.
yeah. So I think there's a good chance these horses were jacked up on something, but I don't know that. I mean,
Yep,
that's
yep.
hearsay. So
I agree. Yeah, I don't know
I
enough
think
about either one of the situations to have a good opinion, but that's just my knee-jerk reaction.
and yeah, like I said, that's alleged. Uh, my problem with this guy is he's on the jockey. He's a member of the jockey club, so
Yeah,
he is tasked with looking over the sport, and instead he abused his position.
absolutely. And
And
it's like a congressman doing the exact. We elect you to go to Congress, and then you're doing a lot of fucked up, crazy shit behind our backs, which we all know that you're doing and stuff. So yeah, exactly. It's the same thing.
right, and he's supposedly better than that, son of a senator, and and if it comes out that other people in that high of a position, received those past performances and did nothing, elected to do nothing about it, then the head should roll because they all
Yes.
know better. And this brings up a whole nother can of worms, opens a can of worms. The Jockey Club is similar to the NCAA. They control all the data, and they want to hoard the data, and they're just kind of they're eating one of their own just to protect their monopoly on data in the industry.
Hmm.
That stuff should be freely available to everybody, in my opinion. Obviously, I know they have their reasons, but they build that data on the horsemen's backs, and there's things you could do with that data to maybe different types of past performances or whatever you can imagine. The Jockey Club hoards it and keeps it out of the public's view, and I think a really well-intentioned lawsuit could bring the Jockey Club to its knees. And honestly, I don't know what good they do for the sport other than maintain records because apparently they don't do anything else other than cheat the rest of us.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe you should start that class action suit. Maybe you should. You're very knowledgeable. You could probably, and now you've got so much pull these days that I can see you knocking that out.
Like as in pulled pork.
I just made some pulled pork. That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm expecting the cease and desist letter to come in any day now. But all right, enough of that. Let's get to our guest, our very special guest, Alan. You do the honors.
Yeah, thank you, Cece. I appreciate that. Tonight's guest is a fourth generation horseman who gained fame as the loving groom of the ultimate long shot in Rich Strike and is now branched out into not only a winning trainer, but one with a promising 2-year-old in the barn. We welcome in Jerry Dixon Jr. to the podcast. Jerry, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you guys for having me. It's honestly a pleasure to be on the show.
Oh, well, we appreciate that, or whatever. You've someone we've wanted on for a long time, whatever. And there's a little 2-year-old I may have mentioned in the prologue is one of the reasons like this is the time. This is the time for Jerry Dixon. But before we get to that, and right off the rip, I have to ask this question. You know these questions are coming, right? Do you ever get tired of watching the 2022 Kentucky Derby?
No, sir. I get emotional every time I watch it. just looking at pictures, sometimes I break down and cry. So
Even at 4 years after, I mean, it's you still quiver, you still tear up.
it's something about watching Rich Strike prevail. Just it brings back all the moments of being in the barn with him, watching him train leading up to the Derby. So it was an amazing feeling, and I'm so grateful.
And you told me off air you're 35, so you may still have this feeling at 55, 75.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I doubt the feeling will ever go away. To be a part of something. I'm sorry, not something. To be a part of history. Um,
Yes.
I don't think the feeling ever goes away. It might intensify. When you watch it on TV, when you watch the Derby on TV, I kind of catch myself like going back to where I was. So
Yeah.
I put myself in every groom's shoe. Like, man, wow, they just won a
And,
Derby.
and you're gonna be in a nursing home at 85 years old, and you're gonna be telling your grandkids about this, or the other guy next to you playing checkers, and you just point to this like I was there, that was me. That's an amazing feeling, right?
Yes, yes. Oh man, it,
As,
it's crazy because the stands, everybody looks like a million dots.
yes.
So it's it was a hell of a adrenaline rush, honestly.
And as I was typing that question out today, it also struck me as like I was wondering who has watched that race more, you or Eric Reed.
I would probably say Eric Reed, but I still kind of go back and watch it every once in a while. But I try not to get too hung up on it because I have to live in the present. You know,
Yes, but it's there. You're part of
yeah,
lore. You're part of Derby lore. I mean, it's just the way it is, and it's a great thing to be a part of. But when that Derby happened, we all saw Eric Reed nearly faint after the race, and rightfully so. I mean, the ultimate long shot, as I said. What was your reaction? Did your knees get weak? Were you in a state of shock? I mean, can you describe what you were feeling as that when you realized it was Rich Strike that hit the wire first?
um, I try to chase him down. There's like an overhead view where Richie's coming down the stretch, and he passed us. I was trying to run, but security grabbed me. So it was excitement. I can understand why Eric Reed fainted. It's sort of like Cherie DeVoe when she was like, you know,
Yes.
come on, Jose. There was a slight moment where I thought she was going to pass out also. So yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it.
So after that race, of course, the nation's talking about Rich Strike, they're talking about Eric Reed, but they're also talking about you. And were you prepared at all for the sudden notoriety that came with that? I mean, you were kind of like an overnight sensation next to immediately, right?
Honestly, no, I was not. I was kind of nervous. But I kind of talked to Eric about it. You know, you don't really see too many grooms really speak right after
Yes.
winning the Derby or winning a big race of that magnitude. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, like, would you want me to talk to the media?" Or he kind of coached me and gave me some words of encouragement to go ahead and speak. So that's what we did.
And on behalf of those of us who watched all those things, you were a great ambassador, not only for Rich Strike, but for racing as well. So you did an amazing job.
I try. I
Yeah.
definitely try.
So the other obvious question, he no longer races. I think he's becoming a daddy. Do you miss him? I know it's a dumb question,
Oh
but
hell yeah.
yeah.
To even just to be around him, on a day to day, just taking care of him basis, even if he wasn't racing, like right now, like yeah. But one day we'll see each other again.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably kindred spirits in this next question I'm going to ask you because it's something that I get tired of hearing, and if I get tired of it, I bet you get tired of it. Did you, in the aftermath of the Derby and in the months that followed, did you get tired of people trying to knock him as a fluke? Because it kind of pissed me off over time. It's like you guys are just mad you wasn't there for the party, in my opinion.
Honestly, yes. There, it takes a special horse to be able to go out and battle against 19 or 20 other horses to win the race. So even if you don't go out and win another race after that, you still won the big race. That's our Super
Thank
Bowl.
you,
That's our
100%. You sound just like me. Go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry.
you you won the biggest race. So I feel like it shouldn't matter, but when it comes to breeding and things like that, that's when it gets a little. People want to see them earn more money just so his breeding would have went up or whatever. But let the horse be great.
Yeah, when I talk about that, it's like the last time I checked, the ultimate goal every year is to win the Kentucky Derby. And
Yes.
if you get anything past that, that's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But you
I mean,
accomplish the goal that everyone sets out to, and no one will ever take that away from you. I don't care if you win 23 more races or you never hit the board in the next 23 races, correct?
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's not a super horse, so
yeah,
we
yeah.
have to realize, this isn't the older days where, you know, everybody's going to run in every race after the Derby, to try to become the next Triple Crown. Well,
Hmm.
now we can't. So
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I want to talk about your training career. Before I get into that real quick, another thing that struck me, we talked about, being a groom and after the Derby, people talking to you, and actually, what makes a good groom? I mean, we always hear about the rich owners and the mega trainers. We all have those names and faces shoved down our throats, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But the
yeah,
grooms are the day-to-day, the true hands-on folks. What, in your opinion, as someone who's been there and has been one, what makes a good groom?
the attention to detail. You have to pay attention to the smallest thing. You have to love your animal 100%. It can't just be a job. Like if you're just doing this for a paycheck, you need to get out of the business.
Right.
Because if you're not passionate about the horse is what it's the main reason why everybody's there is the horse. So
That's
it took me a couple years to really come into my own, to really love what I do.
yes.
Once the passion and everything grew on me, I was like, wow, I couldn't picture myself doing anything else.
So there's when we go to the backside. In your opinion, there's good grooms, there's okay grooms, there's not so good grooms. Is that fair to say or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't I
Yeah.
don't mean to I don't mean to put it out there like that, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to elaborate any further. I'm just curious about that. Uh, you know, I know the Rich Strike thing brought you a lot of deserved notoriety, but I think now you are a trainer. You're a winning trainer. You're becoming a successful trainer. Um, One of the things that's impressed me is with your horsemanship from an untrained eye, and I admit that I have an untrained eye, is a couple of the winners that you put out last year at Turfway Park. It's just the way that they ran, how good they looked doing it. A couple horses named Moonstrike was one, and
God.
Nicolau was the other. I'm going to give you this window to brag on those two horses because first off, they made me a lot of money, number one, but I thought they were tremendous training efforts. I thought the horses put tremendous efforts. So brag on those two horses.
Okay, I'm gonna start with Nicolau.
Go right ahead.
When I first got him, I was kind of like a little bit nervous because the owner, he kind of told me like, hey, like this horse is kind of hard to train. He's a runoff. He's really tough. But Nicolau came in the barn. He was really calm, cool, and collected. Other than if he got too tough to train, we just put a different hand on him. Um, once I worked him and I seen how good he was, I was like, wow, there's no way that I have this horse that I could just put in for 16,000, I believe, in the claiming race, and he won by 5 that day. I was
Yes.
shocked. But the first race, I think he ran, I think second or something.
I think that's right. Yes.
Um, he was a really nice horse. Other than being a little bit older, but I would have loved to got my hands on him when he was like 2 or 3. But
Yeah.
Nikolai was a hell of a horse. Moonstrike, we purchased him, me and my fiance and a partner. We purchased him for, I believe it was $3,000 at Belterra, from a trainer, Jeff Engler. I'm so grateful that he sold us that horse. So with him being my first win, I can go on and on about Moonstrike.
You say what you got to say, brother. You go
he
ahead.
was he was definitely special. First win, first second, first third. One of the horses I really clicked with. We would kind of have a wrestling match in the stall every day. He would get frisky. He would try to mount you, bite you, kick you. Um, Man, I really do. I really do miss it. With him, when we ran him at Turfway the first time, we've heard that he didn't belong in a claiming 25 or optional claiming 25. I was kind of nervous. I thought we were going to lose him. but he was training really well leading up to that race. And to see him get to the front end, and he didn't stop that time. So you love a horse with grit. You love a horse that has the heart. Both of those horses showcased it every time they ran. That's kind of what I base my barn off of, really. If a horse has that grit, that heart that wants to run, those horses wanted to run. They did not. They love their job. That's the main.
So I didn't realize you own Moonstrike. Who's your first winner, and you paid $3,000 for him. That you own the horse as well. That really did have to be special. I didn't realize you own the horse.
Yes, sir. My fiance did.
Wow. What's your fiance's name? Give her a little love here. What's her name?
Brittany Pierce.
What's up, Brittany? How you doing? You got a heck of a trainer there for a boyfriend. I'll tell you that.
I sure do.
I didn't know you were there, Brittany. Nice to meet you.
Definitely listen.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We did talk about this. Where are Nicolau and Moonstrike? Do you have them still, or
unfortunately, Moonstrike passed away last year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Park. No, it's okay. From atomic horse fever. We really didn't know he was sick until the last day. We did everything we could. We took him to Haggard. They had to euthanize him. Nicolau, he retired this year. I believe he's a jumper right now.
Oh, good.
He's in Canada. He's doing really good. So
it's good. Well, I'm glad there's a happy ending for Nicolau. I apologize for Moonstrike. That's very sad, but it's good to see that Nicolau's still thriving. So I was really impressed with those horses when I saw them over the winter at Turfway. I know you've had some winners since, but I also know that there's a really nice 2-year-old in your barn. I've alluded to it twice now, but I want to get to this guy because first time starter at Ellis Park, I want to say about a month ago. The horse's name is Ollie's Glory.
Yes,
and you were against all the big dogs that day, right? Asmussen, Walsh. Oh God, I can't remember the names of all the trainers in there. Raleigh Mott. I could go on and on. It was a who's who, right, of Kentucky and national race. It was pretty
a tough little field, yeah.
And I thought your horse was going to win that race on debut against those badasses. It was ranging up on the outside with Rafael Bejarano and still run extremely well against some very talented horses. Let's go ahead and talk about Ollie's Glory.
Well, I really don't know where to start about Ollie. From the first work, he kind of bullet worked a 37 on accident. There was a I'm sorry, it was a 35. I apologize.
Holy shit.
It was a horse out there working a half mile, and he just he clicked on and nailed this horse, just going past him right at the wire. And I was like, oh my God. We were recording the video, and my fiance is like, did you see what the fuck I just saw? I said, oh my. So we kind of knew he had some talent. We ran into a couple issues. The vets thought he bucked his shins, but he didn't. He had a little knot on his shin. So we had to give him some times in between his works. So it was about 60 or 70 days before the race, only 2 works leading up to that last race. So he's actually in this Sunday at Ellis Park. So
oh, is he?
So I'm excited. We stretched him out, going a flat mile. Raphael jumped back on him. So let's hope for the best.
You know what's cool about that? Not that it's cool or whatever, but Geoff's going to be there Sunday, and we were supposed to be there, but a couple things kept us from it. But because you are doing this podcast today, your face is going to be plastered all over the tote board throughout the day because they'll be advertising this podcast. So that picture we just showed you, you're going to be on while your horse is running. That's going to be on occasionally on the tote board at Ellis Park. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I did not know that. Let's go. I love it.
It seems like it's meant to be, but he's going to enter Sunday because I did notice the horse is back on the work tab. He had a couple of works, right? So I was going to ask you where he's entered in next and how tough is the spot? I haven't looked at the card yet.
We're back in against, some predominant trainers, but when you feel like you have the horse, you just gotta be confident.
Yeah, and he hasn't missed works this time, right? Because he's worked yes. 2 times since so he should be good to go. He should be cranked, right?
I can barely keep him on the ground as we speak. So I believe he's going to be really tough this time.
And Ali is Ali. Is it named after Muhammad Ali?
No, sir. I believe he's named after my owner's wife.
Oh,
So
really?
yes,
Okay, cool. So what's your owner's name? Give them some love too.
George Taylor.
Okay, George. George gonna be there Sunday, right? I hope.
Oh yes,
Okay, cool. So he can see a picture on the board too. We got to make sure that graphics get on the board Sunday, guys. So we can make sure we take care of that. It's been great talking to you real quick, Jared. I want to make sure that I give these other guys a crack, but I'm going to hand the ball off to maybe CC Broaddus here.
okay.
Hey, Jerry, thank you for doing this, first of all.
Hey, it's no problem. It's my pleasure.
George Taylor, I think I read he's from Hopkinsville. It's pretty close drive, I think, to Ellis. Could you tell us a little bit more about the connections of, is it, do we decide it's Ollie's glory or Allie's glory?
Let's say Alex.
Allie's glory. Okay.
I'm wrong.
Tell us more about Mr. Taylor and his wife.
Well, Mr. Taylor, he is my first owner that I've ever had horses for. So I, I feel like this is very special for the both of us. Um, he has, I believe, three. No, yes. Yeah, he has three horses right now. With also a mare. She was in foal. I'm not sure if she still is or not. But I'm sorry. I totally, my mind totally went blank where I was going with that.
That's all right. Well, I was the mayor. We always have to work Michelle Lovell into every podcast. Michelle trained this horse's half brother, I think, balling on a budget.
Really?
Yeah. So, and that horse, gosh, let me see what he did here. He won over $300,000.
Starter allowance type from Louisiana,
Yeah,
right?
nice
Yeah.
Louisiana bred. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So this
Um,
this horse himself is a Louisiana bred. Maybe would you foresee maybe going down south to Louisiana, try a Louisiana bred stakes or something like that if you're fortunate enough to break through with a maiden win?
yes, sir. That's the plan, honestly,
Yeah.
with Ali. We really want to break his maiden here in Kentucky and then take him down for the Louisiana purses. And truly believe that this horse has. He gives me the same exact feeling Rich Strike did. It's crazy. I really don't know what to say more about Ali besides he's the type of horse that you can pick up and take anywhere and you can make some money.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty exciting to me. Now you're based at Turfway, right?
Yes, sir.
How did you decide to land at Turfway for your home base?
Florence has always been home base for me personally. Since I grew up in Cincinnati, I've always like migrated around, Belterra, Turfway Park area, sometimes Keelan or Churchill, but I like to stay close as I can to home. So we were looking at other racetracks to be, but when it rains or if the track's real bad, you never have to worry about missing any training at Turfway because it's all weather, all synthetic. So
Right.
I feel like that's always a plus for us. We can always trade.
And you can go across the bridge there to Belterra and pick up a couple purses every once in a while, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
think you just won a race there recently,
Yes,
right?
sir. With Halter Boy.
Halter Boy, yeah, yeah, yeah. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Who is more famous, you or your dad? Because I see your dad a whole lot on TV.
I'm gonna say my dad's more famous.
Now your dad has been a racetracker for a long time, right?
Yes,
Jerry
sir.
Senior. Jerry
Yes, sir.
Senior. Yeah, yeah. Tell us about your dad.
Okay. When I was probably about 4 or 5, we would come out to the racetrack and he was working for Dale Romans and helping out. I'm sorry, he was helping out Jerry Romans at the time because Dale didn't go out and get his trainer license back then. He was working for his dad at Turfway. So I was kind of always around the barn area watching him work. Then as I grew up, my father wouldn't let me so much be on the racetrack. So he's been around horses since I'm the fourth generation. So let me see, say about 40 years or more.
Wow. So, how many horses are under your care right now?
8.
8. Oh, wow. You're doing well then. Yeah. How many do you have any other 2-year-olds in the barn?
Yes. This one is unnamed, but he's out of Lady Bingo.
Okay. Do you know who the sire is right off the top of your head?
It's a Caracante.
Yeah. Okay. A little turf blood there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Might like Turfway this winter too. All right. But before I turn it over, Jeff, I got to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Right in the aftermath of the Kentucky Derby victory with Rich Strike, did you see? This is where I would overthink things. Did you know what to do? Exactly what your plan was right immediately following the race after you realized you just won the Kentucky Derby? What- did you know where to go to pick your horse up, or you have to show your credentials, I guess, to get over to the turf track? How explain the aftermath of that?
Okay. We were standing on the rail. Um, and we migrated closer to the winner circle, obviously. But did I have any clue where to go? No. I was following security and like the team that was on the racetrack with me. But I was like jumping up and down, like trying to find Eric and K Reed so I could congratulate them personally. But
Yeah,
we didn't all meet up because I didn't know they were still inside the paddock at the time.
yeah. It all worked out in the end, right?
Oh yeah, it definitely worked out.
All right, Jeff, take it away.
All right. Yeah, Jerry, appreciate this, man. It's been great conversation already. We've definitely wanted to have you on for a while. I thought it was interesting when Cece was talking about, your dad being on the racetrack for so long and you coming from a racing family. One thing I usually like to ask is, like, did you always know you'd be involved in the industry, or were you drawn to it? It almost sounds like he almost like dissuaded you from getting involved, at least early on. I guess, can you just kind of go through your journey of getting involved in the industry?
Yes. Like I said, my uncles and my dad, they would all be at the racetrack. So there was times where I would come out there and I would smell the manure. I'm like, oh God, it stinks.
Yeah.
Um, so I think I was about 15 or 16, and I'm like, hey, like I want to work on the track. My dad's like, no, like you're not working back here. Are you out of your mind? Like, go play basketball because I played sports. So he's like, go play basketball, kid. You're not coming back here. So eventually, once I turned 18, I got my license at Turfway, and from there, really, like I had other jobs, but I've always migrated right back to the racetrack because there was nothing ever like it. Once you find something that you like or you love, you might try other things, but you always come back to what you love doing. So
Yeah, you found that passion and it just kept drawing you back, even if you tried to do other things, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's a story we hear from a lot of people, and I think that's something that's special about the industry. And you kind of talked about that early on when you were talking about what makes a good groom is you have to love the animal and you have to love the game to be involved in this sport. So that's definitely a pretty cool thing.
that
What was the
I've
very
even
first job you had on the racetrack?
oh, my first job, I worked for Tommy Short
Hmm.
at Ellis Park, um, the hottest place in the world, really.
It really is. It's unbelievable.
I was grooming, I think like 5 or 6 horses. I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. I'm not even sure if I knew how to clean a stall at that point. So I was just trying to like make it look good, I guess. And once once the Ellis Park meet was over, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to go to Turfway because that's where everybody's gonna be. I think I started working for Aaron West then when I got to Turfway Park. Is where I met
Hmm.
Deacon. So
Very cool. Very cool. I mean, I got to get in another Rich Strike question. I don't know. Alan already talked a little bit, but you talk about the special connection you have with pretty much all of your horses. But it seems like with him specifically, you guys really had just a unique special connection, even before he came Rich Strike, a household name that everybody knew. What was it about him, just when you started working with him early on, that just kind of clicked with you two?
At first, we really did not click.
That's
That's the
interesting. Okay.
that's the crazy part about it. Like I was trying to put polos on Rich Strike one day, and he was just like walking over top of me, unbearable. Like I couldn't get the saddle on him without getting pinned to the corner of the stall, without getting bit, kicked. Like so, it took us maybe 3 or 4 different times to really like, okay, he's gonna have it his way. I have to just go with it. Like it took me some time to really let Rich Strike. What's the word I want to say? Let him determine how we would be in the stall.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah. Let him be
there, there's
himself, basically. Yeah.
there's some horses you can try to finesse or finagle, but no, not with him. It-
Hmm.
he meant all business at all times. So if you weren't ready, he was going to take advantage of you.
Right. Right. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. But that probably made it even more rewarding in the end, though, just knowing the journey you went through with him and all the work you put in and everything.
oh yeah. There were times where I thought about quitting.
Hmm.
Me and others wouldn't so much necessarily agree on things, and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I'll just walk away from it. But then I'm like, oh man, I can't just leave this horse. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't this horse. I can't leave my boy.
Right. Right. Yeah, you just grown into that for sure. Well, moving on to your training career, what made you take that leap of faith and go and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go be a trainer now. I'm gonna go out on my own solo training career. We're gonna do this for real."
I got curious. I got tired of working for a bunch of people. I
Hmm.
bounced around. I worked for Ethan West a bunch. Then I'll go to other trainers. I would see how their barn would work. And I'm like, I got to ask the questions like, how hard does it take the training test, guys? Some
Hmm.
some guys would give me the knowledge and answers I was looking for, and some people wouldn't. So I would take things with a grain of salt, and once I really was like, you know what, hey, I'm going to take this test. It took me about a month and a half to figure out that I actually had my trainer license, because the
Yeah.
stewards did not tell me anything. I was at Belterra Park in Cincinnati. I was waiting for the stewards to let me know, like, hey, you either passed your test or you failed. So I go in one day. I'm like, hey, like, can you guys tell me, like, did I pass? Did I fail? He said, oh yeah, come on, sit down. Once he told me I passed the test, I
You're
said,
like, what?
so how many questions did I miss? He said, you only missed 7. This is gonna sound arrogant. It's gonna sound cocky as shit. But I'm gonna say it. He said, you want to know the 7 questions you missed? I said, yeah. After he told me all the 7 questions, I said, hey, I would have got them all right, but I didn't want you to think I was a genius. Get the hell
Nice.
out of here. He
That's
did look,
funny.
get the hell out of here. I'm like, okay, well, you took long enough to tell me. Um,
That's a great story. That is hilarious. Oh man. But hey, it all ended up working out right. You're where you're at now.
honestly, I can't be more excited than I am for this weekend to see Ali and to see this Philly ball right one run this week. It's ball right. She's in the last race Saturday. She's 30-1. I think she's going to
Mhm.
beat her odds. Really.
Hey, there we go. I know. I felt Alan Schneider's ears perk up as soon as you said that, because he is all over that for sure. But I think all of us do that honestly. When we see your name in the program, we give a second look, especially on long shots. You seem to have a way to get them to outrun their odds for sure.
Hey, sometimes with horses being long shots, you just gotta look over the odds and bet the horse. Like,
Yep,
Yeah.
you know,
100%.
Rich Strike was 80-1. Like I don't. That made me totally believe that no matter what, if your horse comes into a race feeling good, looking good, ready to perform, give them a fighting chance.
Right. Absolutely. And that's why horse races are not run on paper, they're run on the track.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, before I toss you back over to Alan to finish things up, I guess the last thing I want to ask you is what has gone as expected and what has been unexpected so far about training racehorses?
Whew. Unexpected. Um,
Hmm.
Trying to keep owners happy at all times.
Hmm.
That's what's unexpected.
I could see that being a challenge for sure.
Yeah, because sometimes you could say the horse is trading good, doing good, and if it doesn't translate to the race, you might end up losing clients. So
Hmm.
that's that's the unexpected part. But the expected part, there's nothing like seeing your horse that you train or that you groom and take care of every day cross the finish line, knowing all the hard work that you put in.
Yeah.
It's amazing, really.
Yeah, that has to be an incredibly rewarding feeling for sure. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Jerry. I'm going to toss it back down for a couple wrap up questions here.
Okay.
I am so glad that CC mentioned your dad, Jerry Dixon, and I'm gonna tell you why. Not to mention he's been doing this for 40 years. He seems like a fantastic horseman. But when I was doing the amazing research for this interview, I came across an interview with your dad about 4 years ago, and ironically, it was like watching a time capsule because it was like 2 days before the Kentucky Derby. It was like inside the real players on the backstretch,
Hmm.
and it
Hmm.
was so bizarre watching it because he was talking about, well, we're on the also eligible list with Rich Strike. He had Rich, I think he was holding Rich Strike.
Yep.
We're on the also eligible list. We're just hoping to get one scratch. He's number 21, and I just want to see my son get in the race and blah blah blah. And I was like, how did I come across this video? It was awesome because it took us back to because again the whole Rich Strike story is he didn't get into that race until like 5 minutes before the deadline closed on Friday
Yep.
morning. So this was probably taken I guess on Thursday. And have you seen that interview? Because it's like your dad was a soothsayer. It was like I was watching a fortune teller. I wish I could have went back in time and got a bet down at 80-1. You know what I'm saying?
You honestly, that day we were really planning on packing everything up,
Uh-huh.
taking Richie to New York before the Derby because we didn't think we were going to get in. We didn't think there were going to be any scratches. Um, it's as I think back, that day and those little 5 minutes in between of hey, who's scratching, who's not. I asked the state vet every day, like, hey, blink twice for yes. Or blink once for no. Like, let us know who's scratching. Like, are we gonna get in? Like, what's they would? Hey, listen, those guys, they could be great poker players. Literally, they wouldn't tell me anything. They wouldn't smirk. They wouldn't laugh. They were serious. I'm like, guys, like, come on, like, like, just say something. Like, oh, your horse looks good. Okay, that's fine. But are we gonna get in? Like, is somebody scratching? I can't tell you. What do you mean you can't tell me?
Wow, I didn't
thank
know all
thank
that.
thank God, that Dwayne Lucas scratch, God rest his soul. He's one of the greatest. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. He is the greatest trainer ever to do this, and without him scratching, we probably wouldn't have never got in. So
Yeah, it's so funny because everybody knows the story about Rich Strike winning at 80-1, but in a lot of ways, he was 80-1 or more to get to the race. So much shit had to happen. So much stuff had to fall into place for him to get in the starting gate and then win the race. I don't know if people, the general public realizes all that. It's not like for Lucas to scratch on race day either way. He likes to run his horses. So
yeah,
there was a lot of moving parts to get this horse in the race.
yes,
Yeah, it really is. But anyway, so yeah, that just kind of brings the whole story back full circle. And I guess I will close with this because we talked about this off air, and you are from Cincinnati. And I don't know if you're a Bengals fan, but I know you're a Reds fan, right? Is that correct?
yes, sir.
And Are you happy with the current state of the organization? I mean, they're trolling around 500. They're trying to get to 500, but would you maybe do things different if you was head of the organization?
I don't know if I would do things any different, but I would make sure to keep all our good players and not send them away.
Yeah, who's your favorite player? Ellie, Sal Stewart.
Ellie, it has to
Yeah,
be Ellie.
yeah,
You
he's
know,
a ball.
he brings in the crowd. That's the thing.
Hmm. You work on that defense just a little bit, but he's got all the tools, doesn't he? He's got all the tools to be a great player. What about the Bengals? Are you a Bengals fan?
Yes, sir.
And Joe
Let,
Burrow guy.
let's get back to the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see. We need an
Yeah,
offensive line.
yes, you do. Yeah, you got to protect that star back there under center, right?
Yeah.
Let him play 16, 17 games a year, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. Well, I tell you what, Jerry, this has been wonderful. We are really excited to see Ollie's glory, not just Sunday when he's going to win, but we want to see him down the road. I didn't even know he's a Louisiana bred, so that he's eligible for those races and stuff. So we really appreciate you being on. You're an easy guy to root for. It was a pleasure talking to you too, Brittany. Say goodbye, Brittany. Hello.
You all as well. Thank you guys so much.
Not a problem. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Jerry, and we're pulling for you. All right, easy
Yes,
guy
sir.
to pull for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
You should always cheer for the underdog. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Because I notice this a lot. Even with Rich Strike, he was despised by a lot of people.
I say that all the time. Yes, it gets on my nerves.
And you get that a lot with long shot. Long shot winners, they're despised.
Mm-hmm.
Long shots actually make the most interesting stories.
Yes.
And no shade on Steve Asmussen. If Steve Asmussen had won that Derby, I mean, obviously that would have been his first, but that's not near as interesting a story as Rich Strike was.
To the general public, exactly, and that's
Yeah.
they're not going to make. They weren't going to make a movie about Epson or nothing against Epson or his fantastic racehorse or Zandon, but they weren't going to make a movie about him. I mean, that's why they made Seabiscuit.
Right. Yeah, and we got 2 podcasts out of it. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's all about how it affects us.
that was a net positive for us.
Yeah.
Before we go, I've got some chicken shawarma I bought at Publix the other night, and I don't know what to do with it. Either of y'all had chicken shawarma. It's in a bag. It's frozen.
Can I make an acknowledgement here? I've always heard the phrase shawarma. I have no idea what shawarma is. It sounds like something I
Like a
would want to eat.
Mediterranean thing, right?
Yeah, it's how they season it, but I've never had.
Right.
I just saw it in the package. I was like, I want to try that.
Okay, no, I've never had it. I remember one of the Avengers movie they talked about shawarma, and I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. But that's on me. That's on me.
Yeah, it's a Greek kind of a Greek Mediterranean kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Make like a gyro out of it or something.
I've got tortilla shells.
Well, you can do some fusion. Mexican Greek fusion.
Maybe some pickles and some ranch dressing
Mm-hmm.
and just yeah. I don't know if you can put cheese. I don't feta cheese. I don't have any feta cheese. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Send it my way. So Jerry's got a couple horses in this week, and we're going to be pulling for those 2 horses. And I think Jeff's going to be on site for the Sunday one. So you'll be the first one to congratulate him when this horse wins, right, Jeff?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yep. I'll be out there for sure, and I'll have a special eye on that one for sure.
Also,
yes.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish
I
your
was gonna
thought.
say, when he gets done, he could do some karaoke and join her with the Jimmy Church band.
That's right. It's the perfect day. That's the end of season party out there at Ellis Park, and man, it will not disappoint. I tell you that much.
Also, on Sunday, closing day, is the return of Lush Lips.
I'm not going. Are you talking about me or the horse?
Well, I meant you, but there's also, ironically, there's a horse named Lush Lips.
Oh, amazing.
Named after Alan.
Named after Alan. Last seen going through the sales ring at the Keeneland November mix sale, $3.7 million is what the hammer fell on her. And she has not raced since, but she returns in the $175,000 Ellis Park Turf Stakes. I'm sure she'll be a heavy favorite in there.
Is Brandon Walsh still got her?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember seeing that. I was like, and I looked at the field like, well, I think she lays over the field, but I wasn't sure she had raced since. Well, I need to take a closer look at that. But that is interesting. It also got a bit testament to Ellis Park with the stock they get. That I swear people just sleep on this racetrack, man. It's like the other day when Jeff and I were on air. I think I mentioned to Jeff there was a few scratches in the race with the Nakatomi race, the
Yes.
Hear My Song race. Had every horse in that race ran, those horses would have combined for $7 million in earnings.
Yeah, that
And
was a stakes race,
yeah,
for
that's
sure. Just everything but on in name, yeah.
yeah. The Nakatomi is ran second to Burnett, the Breeders' Cup Sprint winner last year, and has run third in the Breeders' Cup
Yeah,
Sprint.
Ben Tornado, yeah.
Yeah, Bertinato and but yeah, the Lush Lips is returning there. That says, especially after selling for that kind of money, that says a little something about the. I turn on Saratoga to be like 5 and 6 horse fields, and Ellis is rocking 11 and 12 and stuff. So it's a testament to the horse stock they get these days.
Okay. That's it. Anybody else got anything that you want to add?
Thanks to Jerry Dixon and his lovely fiancee, Brittany.
Okay. There we go. On behalf of Jerry Dixon Jr. and his fiancee, Brittany, and Alan Schneider, Jeff Riggs, and the Cats Thousands, I'm CC Broaddus signing off, reminding you that gambling money ain't got no home. Good night.